I'm Abby,
And I'm Anna.
and this is Serious Beef.
Welcome.
It is the end of Serious Beef, actually. This isn't Serious Beef.
Uh-oh.
This is Spooky Beef.
It's Spooky Beef.
It's Spooky Beef. We are now Spooky Beef.
We are in October, and we love it.
If I remember, I'm going to update our logo for October so that it'll be a little more spooky.
Okay.
And
Ooh,
it's Spooky
that's
Beef.
exciting. That's exciting.
Um,
It is Spooky Beef time, and we love it.
right. It is, in theory, fall is in full swing. But what's our beef?
Well, honestly, it is October, so we are in my favorite season of all time, fall. But my beef is that it's just too short now.
It's too short.
It's disappointing. I actually saw a thing where it was like, oh, people who love fall are about to be disappointed in this year's forecast. And I'm like, don't even say that to me.
Already disappointed.
Yeah, already disappointed just by those words. Don't tell me that. And sure enough, it's, way too warm, than it should be.
Takes too long to get that fall weather. Then it gets too cold too quickly.
Yeah,
Maybe like a week.
We get maybe 2 weeks of what it feels like fall, and then we're into winter. So,
but fall has some of our favorite things. It's got the Chili Fest. It's got Brew Fest. Oktoberfest is today in Belleville.
it is.
I think we might be going up there later.
Right.
I love all the fests. That's what I want to see.
Love the fests.
Brewfest down in Big Muddy. The Big
Big
Brewfest
Muddy Monster
is,
Brew Fest.
I think
we love it.
We've talked about it before. It's a good time.
We've been going to that
Years.
minus COVID year, probably for like 9 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been going on a while.
Yeah, been going on
We
for
love
quite
it.
some time. October is my favorite month. It's just my favorite month. I got married in October. I love the weather. I love the.
It's pretty.
It's
the
so
trees?
pretty. I remember living when she was little. We used to go. We call it a leaf walk, and we'd go we'd go up to the park or we'd go wherever, and try to find. And the goal was who can find the prettiest leaf that had already fallen.
Yeah.
And so we would bring home all kinds of leaves. And one year I laminated them and hung them up, and they
Nice.
stayed for a long time. Her campus up in Edwardsville is crazy gorgeous. We went up there one year. Sam was going to school there. Liv was still at either junior high or high school. She was still young enough that she would go with me. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And then once she got probably in high school, then it was like,
It's not cool anymore.
that's not cool to go with my mom and look at the colorful trees. So, we drove up there. It was probably our last one. Yeah, we went up there and we took all these pictures and walked all over the place, and we loved it. Just loved it. It's just, who doesn't? It's so gorgeous. So gorgeous to see the colors, and we love it. October 1st, we know it's spooky time. So I think we did that somewhat when you were still living at home. Because like the Disney Channel or Cartoon Network, they would show all the fun Halloween shows.
has like their 31 days of Halloween. Or something.
Yeah. And so every night you could watch a fun Halloween show, and then a lot of channels would show like the scary stuff too.
Yeah.
So it depends on your level of how scary do you want it to be. I'm pretty wussy.
Right.
I don't really like the super scary. Honestly, I will say that I love a good thriller. I don't mind like being on the edge of my seat or a little bit,
And they would talk about like
I don't like the gory.
Sixth Sense.
Oh yeah,
like that
what a
really
great
good.
movie! What a great movie! Totally didn't see the twist at the end.
No.
Didn't see it coming.
Well, like my favorite scary movie is like
which
that.
is?
Is like that. It's I think it's The Thing.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
I'm nixing Godzilla.
Okay,
No,
okay.
the original is technically like a horror movie kind of thing.
It is
But,
supposed to be. Yes.
I'm discounting that one right now. But The Thing is really more suspense, but it's clearly meant to be like a scary, suspenseful movie. And I think I may have talked about this movie before, just when we were talking about movies in general, that episode. But I love that movie.
Yeah,
Because
it's so good.
it keeps you on the edge of your seat. Who is the thing?
Who's the thing?
Is anyone
right.
creepy?
Did they really get rid of it, or is he still
Right.
alive at the end?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a really the one with Kurt Russell, right? Is am I thinking of
Yeah.
the person? That's I think that's
John
really,
Carpenter is the thing.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
John
Really
Carpenter made another iconic Halloween movie,
Really?
Halloween.
He did.
Yes.
He did.
Which Halloween takes place in Illinois.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. Isn't it? Isn't
Scary.
it awesome? When I was a kid back in the 80s, Halloween came out, the Friday the 13th movies came out, and that was the thing. Like, you would go to the movies. I remember we would go with a group of friends, and we would have to sit boy, girl, so that you could grab onto, the guy and be freaked out by the scary movie. And we would go to the haunted houses. And again, I would like use one of my guy friends as a human shield because it was terrifying.
Yeah.
But I would watch those. I would watch the Halloween or the Friday the 13th. I don't really like the gross, super gory. The ones that are out now, or even like Chainsaw Massacre came out a long time. I would not watch that. I'm like, I don't want to see the gross stuff. I don't want to see that. That's so disturbing to me.
Yeah.
I don't want that. But the Friday the 13th, those are so cheesy. They were so bad.
I don't mind
Like, I
the
could
old
handle
cheesy
that.
ones.
Yeah, the old
and like I
cheesy
said,
ones.
the suspense ones are good, but the ones I just don't like the ones that they stick with you.
Oh,
They're
man.
disturbing.
The ones,
you
the
know?
newer ones now, they're so
Especially-
realistic.
well,
and
especially
they're-
the ones like the
Can't do
Saw
it.
and things like that. It's
Yeah.
like those are like
That's fucked up.
those are actually referred to as their own category of, I think they're called like torture porn.
Yeah,
Which is like
no, won't
it's
do
not
it.
scary. I mean, it is scary, but it's not scary because it's like, oh, suspense. You gotta go. It's like, no, like bad things are going to happen.
Yeah.
That's just the way that it is.
It's horrendous.
Horrible.
Horrendous. I don't
hate
know
those.
how you can.
I don't like those.
I personally cannot watch it, and I cannot enjoy that. That's
Right.
That's not
Some
good.
people like just see it and they're like, oh my gosh, it's just so fake. And that's the enjoyment they get out of it.
Maybe
Whatever.
I don't know.
That's fine. And if you like to watch those movies, whatever, no judgment here. It is not for me. It
Not for
is
me.
Not for
and,
me.
And I will ask that you not torture people.
Please don't.
Please don't do
Please
that.
don't.
But the one scary franchise that I would not watch when I was a kid.
I know what you're gonna say.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Nope.
Nope.
That's a no for me, dog.
Nope.
That
It's no for me, dog.
There's no escaping that. Like, you could in the Friday the 13th or the Halloween or whenever, you could survive possibly.
Scream.
They
Take your
walk
pick.
very slow. The villains walk very slow.
And just by good decision making.
You could make good decisions and you could survive.
It's true.
There's a possibility.
It's very.
But I'm
possible.
going to tell you right now, in Nightmare on Elm Street, you're going to go to sleep at some point in your life.
You're going to die.
And you're going to die.
Yeah.
Because
And you know what happens if you don't go to sleep? You'll die.
you're still going to die.
Because your body needs sleep.
You have to have sleep.
And I think
That
that's
freaked
those
me out
movies
so
scare-
bad.
because and I think that's why I like the movie The Thing, not to pull it back on The Thing, but in The Thing they make good decisions. They do. They rationally are like, we need to make these smart choices, da 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 da, all this stuff, and it's like, it still is just like not enough.
There's still not enough. Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
they are being smart. The creature is just smarter.
Yep, one step
Or it's
ahead.
just a very difficult situation.
Exactly.
Where it's like, if you have, Friday the 13th or whatever, it's like, oh, you've seen the commercial.
The commercial?
What do you want to do? Like, what do you want to go to the spooky house or this,
Yeah.
the
Go
abandoned
behind,
swamp?
go,
Why
or
don't we get in the running
running
car?
No,
Like,
let's go hide
hide behind the chainsaws.
behind the chainsaws. Yeah.
Amazing.
And you see the villain's just like rolling his eyes like, what?
He's going,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
And
then
that
the girl,
is how
"Oh,
it feels.
smart.
It is how it feels.
It's always terrible decision making. But those I can handle. They're silly, they're cheesy, they're whatever, and it's fine. But that Nightmare on Elm Street,
What are you gonna do? Because
I can't find that.
I believe her name is Nancy Wheeler. No.
That's in Stranger Things.
Yes.
Which is
I'm
another
cutting this
great
out.
show, actually.
I do. That is a little
loved Stranger
spooky.
Things. It's
Um,
but it's been spooky. You get the jump scares. You get you're startled. It's a little creepy, but it hasn't been gross. Like as far as it hasn't been disgusting.
Nancy Thompson is the name of the character from
Oh,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the thing. A little fun fact about her.
Okay.
The main character. She's the main character in that first one and whatnot, and she is she's one of the smartest final girls. Is what they
Okay.
call them. The actress, since she married and she and her husband started one of the biggest special effects companies in
really?
Hollywood. Yep. And so she's very involved in the horror genre, and they do all these special effects now, and that's like her whole thing. I know,
crazy.
very, very.
Good for her.
Her name
Good
is
for her.
Heather Langenkamp.
Oh,
is
okay.
the actress's name, and yeah, she is
Got
one
her
of-
start on Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
Legit.
Yep.
Wow.
But she's since actress, director, writer, producer, and disc jockey. It says.
Okay.
But yeah, no, her and her husband own a special effects company and whatnot. They do a lot of horror movies now. So,
Wow. Oh
I
my
know, isn't
gosh.
that fun?
So you know what that makes me think of? Do you remember the show Face Off?
Yeah, I love Face
Loved
Off.
Face Off.
I
Right?
love Face
So if
Off.
you've never seen Face Off, it was a competition of these people who were in special effects
And they
could
did
do
like the makeup, yeah, the practical
and
effects.
they would do these crazy makeups.
And that's what
and
I
the
should
skills.
specify.
Wow.
They don't special effects. That's they do practical effects. That's
Practical
Heather
effects.
Langenkamp and her
Gotcha,
husband.
gotcha.
Yeah,
So they specialize in like the crazy good makeup
yeah,
and other stuff. I mean, there's more to it than that, but
yeah.
yeah, that show was so great. I loved it. We all loved it because you know what was so great about that? It was a competition, but it wasn't your typical competition show because the people, the competitors, the people who were on the show, there wasn't really all this crazy drama of them hating each other and pitting and sabotaging.
No.
They would help each other.
Yeah,
if they
and
had
they were just
time,
all
and
very
they
talented.
were the talent
makeup
level
artists.
was nutso.
And it was
Yeah,
like so many
so
people were like,
good.
yeah, I got my start. I worked in haunted houses and things like
right,
that,
right.
and that's kind of where they got their start. And they're
Yeah.
like, but I really want to do this professionally, and so they got on the show, and the stuff that they could do, because they did. Sometimes there was it was horror
Yeah.
stuff. Sometimes it was sci-fi.
But there was always
it
a
was
theme. Yeah, there was a theme.
and it was because
Sometimes they had to do beauty makeup, but
Oh,
then
yeah.
like was there like a flower challenge or something?
Yeah.
I mean,
They-
there was so much.
they would do like almost like a fae kind
Yeah,
of thing.
Whoever came
sometimes.
up with the challenges,
Very cool.
They were very cool. It was really interesting to watch, and they're like you said, the talent level was amazing.
Yeah, and the judges were like well known in their industry,
but
and
they weren't hateful. Like sometimes the judges on different competition shows, they can just tear
I
somebody
think
down.
the woman on there, the woman was maybe but she was always tough but fair.
Yes,
completely
yes.
fair.
Her first name was V. Remember, I can't remember her last name.
Yes, I can't remember.
But they were all in the industry and they've been doing it for a lot of years.
Yeah.
But they were, yes, they would, their critique would be, constructive. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
just to tear you down.
Yeah.
And what a great show. We love that show.
Love that show.
I wonder if you can find it somewhere because we really loved it. Liv and I one time, it was so funny. She's sitting on the couch across from me. We looked at each other and she's like, you know what show I miss? And I said, don't say it. I know it. And then, of course, I couldn't think of the name, so I looked like a freaking idiot. And she's looking at me waiting for her to say it. And then I finally said, Face Off. And we actually said it at the same time. We both looked at each other. We both go, Face Off.
I think it's on Netflix.
And then we laughed our asses off.
be on Netflix.
Oh, really? I'm going to have to check it out
to look.
because it really is.
I love that
It
show.
really was a great show. I loved it. Did it used to be like Sci-Fi Channel or something
Yes.
like that? Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yep.
We loved it.
well-
Hey, do you want to say our sauce before we
I
forget?
will.
Because we always
I will.
forget. Well, we don't
Um,
forget. We're pretty good about
Our
it.
secret sauce, chili sauce.
Chili sauce.
Chili sauce.
So I saw a thing that said,
Because we love chili.
we love chili. I love
We
chili.
need a sauce.
And we needed a sauce, so here we go. But I saw a thing that said it's fall, and when people think of fall, they think pumpkin spice, but I think of chili. So I was like, okay, that's actually legit. I think of both. So
Oh, God, yeah.
I gotta go get me a pumpkin pie blizzard, and
allegedly.
and I gotta make some chili. Liv literally said to me, "You need to make your white chicken chili," and it is a world famous recipe.
World famous.
World
is a
famous.
little-
It's only famous in our area. I lie, but I like to say it's world famous. But
in our area is
it-
also a little.
it has won multiple chili cook-offs.
Every time it has been entered into competition. Now it's been exclusively entered in our work competitions.
only work competitions.
But Sam
Yes.
entered it, Dad entered it, I entered it.
All
All
with your
three of us
work,
won.
and all of them won.
Yep.
So there you go.
I have a golden ladle.
And Liv, you have a golden ladle. You're right. They always say Liv always wants me to enter it into one of the chili cook-offs, like either Mascuda's or Bella. And I'm like,
Because it's so
do you
good.
know how expensive that would be? No.
Because you have to make so
I have
much.
to buy all the ingredients. I'm not doing it.
No.
Yeah. So, but this, I literally got it's not even my own recipe. I used to love to watch a show called Show Me St. Louis, and they would tell you about all kinds of local events that were going on in the area, which I thought was great, and just all kinds of different things. And they would always have somebody come on and do a little cooking stint, and they made this white chicken chili, and I'm like,
amazing.
and I literally was like, that looks great.
And it is.
And they're like, go to the website and you can get the recipe. So I did.
It's not like you'll go to the Chili's and you'll get these like watery kind of white chicken. It's not like that at
No,
all.
it's not like that at all. It's one of the best things I've
Change your life.
Yep. Everywhere I take it, every time I make it, everybody loves it. I'm like, yep. And I've shared the recipe because it's not just mine.
Yep.
You know, I didn't make it up, but
It's true.
Liv, we were at the grocery store the other day and she's like, you need to make some white chicken chili. And I was like, okay, let's get the ingredients. Yeah, we bought everything. So
Well,
I've got the ingredients. We're ready. We're ready.
I wanted to say real quick, the reason I know so much about like the scary movies and things like that, even though I
Okay.
don't like to watch them, is because Sam and I watch a channel on YouTube called Dead Meat, and I can't remember. I may have brought this up before on the
I don't know.
podcast,
I don't know.
but he does the kill counts.
Oh, the kill counts. Yes,
Yeah,
I
it
know
makes
you
it
guys
kind
like
of
to watch
funny.
that. Yeah.
But he talks about the making of the movies and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, which is
And
crazy interesting.
It's very
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, agreed.
And so this guy's been on YouTube for a few years.
Okay.
And has kind of made a name for himself.
Yeah, Sam, I do remember her talking about watching the kill count because she's like, I don't like scary movies, but I liked watching this. Stuff.
I
Yeah.
do. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it takes some of the scary out of it. And he did that, and then but he's gonna make a name for himself to the point that him and his partner his name is James A. Janice.
Okay.
And then his partner is Chelsea Rebecca.
Okay.
And they have like a podcast that they do.
Okay, gotcha.
That they kind of just talk about horror stuff and whatnot. But they got married, and the reason I bring all this up is because Heather Langenkamp was their officiant.
Oh.
The woman who was the special effects person.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
I know. Isn't that so cool?
How cool is that?
It was actually really funny because the only reason I know this is because they did a little interview with Jamie Lee Curtis and another woman when they made a new Halloween movie.
Yeah, they made the new one.
And so the two of them are interviewing her, and they mentioned like, "Oh, we just got engaged." Da, da. Jamie Lee Curtis like, "Oh my God, I'm a legal officiant. Can I marry you?" And they go, "Oh, we're so sorry. Heather Langenkamp is marrying us," and they have to turn down Jamie Lee Curtis.
I would be like, you can do it together.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, I thought that was just so cool.
That's crazy.
Isn't that so cool?
Love it.
Wow. Yeah, they're like our lives have just been like completely changed by the horror industry because they just kind of love horror movies.
Well, sure.
And
Some people really likes horror movies. I don't.
Right. They just like and they really like the process of movie making, and so they're really interested in all that. So they're both very funny.
So they do this on it's on YouTube, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's just on YouTube.
And it is cool. Sam has showed me some. You showed me some. So you're right. Seeing the behind the scenes how they make it is quite cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Especially I like the old ones, like The Thing. That's how I kind of learned about The Thing, so that I was
okay.
like not afraid to watch it because I already knew what was coming.
I was wondering how you knew about this movie because it's from the 80s.
Yeah.
Right? It's old.
It is. And it kind of flopped a little bit when it came out.
It was.
But then it kind of have a resurgence of a cult classic.
Right,
it's amazing.
Right.
I love this movie.
And it is good. It is very good.
Yeah, so that's my little stint. But
that's cool. So what's your go-to, like, I don't know if I want to say your favorite. Do you have, well, your favorite is The Thing.
Probably The Thing.
But then do you guys like to watch
We
in
watch
October?
a ton of...
So do you have like
we watch...
a go-to that you watch like all the time, like every October?
I'm trying... Well, I think we usually watch Beetlejuice. I like Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is excellent. Always, me too. I like that one. I watch
like
every October.
We usually watch the Hocus Pocus. Watch Hocus Pocus.
Do you watch both? I liked the second one.
We like the
Very
second one.
much.
I like. You know what? Here's the thing. It's like it's not going to be my new favorite. I think I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. I thought it was pretty well done.
They waited so long to make another one. You're thinking, oh my gosh, how can this possibly be good? Love it. I loved it. I thought it was so great. It was so fun. I was very happy with how it ended. I thought it was so great. I remember reading a thing about Bette Midler, how she said she was actually happy with how it ended. She really liked it. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
It was really good.
And it was
so that's definitely a go-to.
I thought some of it was very clever. Like they go to like a CVS or a Walgreens, and it's very funny.
It's very funny, very clever. You're right.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job on that one.
Well, we watch just some Halloween movies that I like.
Okay.
Corpse Bride.
Oh, love Corpse Bride.
Love Corpse Bride.
Agree.
I think every Halloween we watch Scary Movie. If you recall Scary Movie.
Ashley likes that.
We both love the original Scary Movie, and the second one's pretty good too.
Okay.
But the first two were made by the Weaver brothers.
Are these the spoof ones?
Yes.
Yes, they're hilarious. Yes.
They are so funny.
Yes.
Now they're pretty wildly inappropriate for a certain audience.
Absolutely.
But
they're hilarious.
Hilarious.
Right.
But the two brothers made the first one. They also made the sequel.
Excellent.
Now after that, because there's like 5 or 6
Yeah,
of
I've
them.
seen the first two, and those are the two I like that I think are very funny. Totally on board with those.
So those, I like the first two of those, but you know,
Okay.
Little Shop of Horrors, we usually watch that one.
That is such a great movie. Love that.
Yep.
We love musicals.
Yep. You know, any of the ones
I
that
will say
are-
that.
Oh, Shaun of the Dead's great.
Oh, Charlotte! Did you see they made a Shaun of the Dead pop figure? I just saw
yeah,
it. They made it.
I have Shaun.
Do you really?
I do.
Oh, I saw they had a Hot Fuzz one too. We love
that's
Simon
great.
Pegg. Love Simon Pegg. Yep. Now I will watch. What's the one with Woody Harrelson? Zombieland, hilarious. Your dad likes that one. We'll watch that one.
Have you seen the second one?
Yep.
I haven't seen that
Yep.
one yet.
We've both seen it. We liked it. We liked
okay.
it.
I haven't seen it. And
then of course Van Helsing. We have to watch.
I
Liv and
love.
love.
I think you and
Van
Olivia
Helsing.
came over and we watched Van Helsing last year.
Yep.
That is a great movie.
Love that movie. It's again.
You know what? That
probably
movie-
a box office flop.
That movie gets so much
Gets
hate.
so much hate.
Gets so much hate. And I think it is completely unfounded because they're like, well, this is. I'm like,
I don't care.
enjoy it for
I don't
what
care.
it is. It's
That's
a
exactly.
cheesy
Monster movie.
And
And I love it.
do you know little fun fact. I really like werewolves. I think they're very cool. I think if I had to pick a monster,
Right.
a movie monster, or whatever,
Okay.
it's werewolves for me.
Do you know what happens when you teach a wolf to meditate? He becomes a werewolf. Her stunned silence.
I can't stand you. Anyway, you're done. You're done.
Moving on.
Well, I like werewolves a lot. One of my D&D characters was a werewolf.
Okay, I remember telling me this. Yeah.
And
yeah, they're cool. The transformation in that
Yes.
movie.
The werewolves in Van Helsing
Yeah.
is, in my opinion, the coolest
Yes, transformation.
design of a werewolf. And transformation, the coolest design of a werewolf.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah, they look cool. They look as
They
cool as
look
fuck. Yeah.
awesome.
Because some of the werewolf movies, the transformation is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Right. It's pretty hilarious. But again, their special effects maybe wasn't
I remember seeing
that great at the
I
time.
remember
so.
seeing Harry Potter, the third one, and Remus Lupin is a werewolf.
He does the transformation. at
And
one point.
I thought he was so lame
Yeah.
because he's just this very scrawny, and I was like. And I'm coming off watching Van Helsing, and Hugh Jackman is this giant black wolf thing, and I'm like, that's it. That's amazing.
The vampires were cool. How the girls would transform.
The wives are
They would
very
be beautiful, and then they would be terrifying. It was. I don't know. Again,
the Frankenstein monster
Yeah.
was cool.
Yes, Liv's favorite quote.
She was yelled about something yesterday on the phone. I was like, why do you sound like Frankenstein?
Oh my god!
But Hugh Jackman is great in that.
I love that movie.
I love that movie.
It's
Do you-
one of my all-time faves.
No,
I go to for October. Absolutely.
A werewolf movie I can't fucking stand.
Werewolf in London.
An American Werewolf in London. I watched that movie last year. I have never been so angry. I think I called you. The movie.
You did.
The
She
credits
watched-
are still rolling, and I'm on the phone with you. I can't believe I fucking just spent so much time watching that movie. I was so angry.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I didn't even have my full dissertation.
I
on it
watched that
because-
movie one time, and it's weird. It's a weird movie, isn't it? Because there's like funny scenes where the guy he kills shows up in the theater, is like talking to him, and it's wild. It's
he's
actually
trying to
wild.
hide out in this theater, and it's like a nudie kind of film or whatever.
porn show.
I forget what he calls it because of course they're in Britain, so I forget what they refer to it as. But yeah,
Sure.
he's like trying to hide in the back with the fucking dead body guy. The
guy-
guy's sitting there just having a chit chat, and I'm like, what the fuck is going
What is
on?
going on?
Because certain moments like that were like, okay, that actually made me laugh out loud.
Right,
What the fuck is
right.
going on? And now, I will say that the thing with that movie is that the special effects of how he transforms were like groundbreaking.
They were
At the
they were
time.
at the time
Because they showed like
It
his
was
jaw
considered
elongating with
incredible.
his wolf thing, and his limbs, and it's like that was they didn't have computer special effects to do this, so it all had to be done practically, and it was great.
Yeah,
They look great. That is the best part of the whole movie. The
It's
rest of it was
it's a weird movie.
I'm not over it, but
So hard.
but I hated that movie.
No, I know a movie that you loved. We still love to this day. And this was a movie that is so old. It was from when I was a kid, and my family, my brothers and my sister, and I love this movie, Mad Monster Party.
Oh,
It's
man,
so
Monster
great.
Party.
So is it a Rankin and Bass? I feel like it's
think-
done by the same guys
I
who
think
did say
probably.
your Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer type, the puppets, with the
stop
motion. Yeah, and you've got your Frankenstein, and you've got your werewolf, and the mummy,
The guy-
and Dracula.
The guy invites all the
monsters,
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde,
yeah, the Invisible Man,
the Invisible
which is
Man,
a hoot.
the Mummy,
Yeah.
the werewolf, Frankenstein, and his bride, and all these people. and they come in and
to his island.
Yeah.
He's going to name his successor, and it's Boris Karloff.
Is
Who does they make the puppet look like him, and he
Yes.
voices it, of course, and he has his Igor,
who's voiced by we
Peter
talked about
Lorre.
it,
Peter Lorre
which
played
I,
Igor.
which
yeah.
I actually wrote down briefly that we've talked about Arsenic and Old Lace previously.
Yes.
But I love that movie for Halloween as
If
well.
you have never seen the movie Arsenic and Old Lace, you must. We've talked about this twice now. You must
Yes,
see it. It's
absolutely.
fantastic.
I love that movie.
love that movie.
But
Yes.
but yeah, they're and then who does the Bride of Frankenstein?
It is Phyllis Diller.
Yes.
Phyllis Diller.
As like extremely iconic voice,
Yes.
you know.
And again,
you know,
this
as
was
soon as you
made
hear
when
it.
I was a kid. Like this is it's very old. But I found it on DVD somewhere, and we love it.
I love it.
And it's so
It's
great.
a great one for kids.
Yeah,
it's not
it is
scary
a great one for
you
kids.
know.
It's just
But
the cutest
he
show.
He invites his nephew,
His
who's like a
nephew.
completely normal pharmacist,
Right.
to come.
And he's gonna name
it's his
his
great nephew.
Yeah, he's gonna name him,
Or
as
some-
him
or
as
maybe
the
it's-
successor.
But yeah, he's gonna name his successor or whatever. So he invites this guy, and so there's all these monsters,
these
and then this
monsters.
kid who has no idea
Yeah,
about. It's very.
So
It's kind of Hotel Transylvania-esque, a little bit, sort of like that idea of like all these monsters getting together,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like a one normal human
Right,
guy.
right.
And but
it is,
it's-
but not the same story.
no,
line.
not
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
Yeah, very
Not at all,
different.
but very funny.
But it's
And-
really great. It's
and
so
it's-
cute.
It's the stop motion, like you
Yeah.
said, the
We
Rudolph
love
kind
the
of.
stop motion, right? So
Yeah.
great.
So,
So we love that one. We watched that one every
Yes.
year too.
That
But of
one's
course,
fun.
and then Liv and I love Coraline, which you
Yeah.
and Sam, that freaked you guys out when you were little. Like the buttons on the eyes, you're like, what the hell
what
is
the
happening?
fuck is that?
But Liv has always been like me as far as like loving the, I don't know, she's kind of creepy kid, and like her
She
favorite
had those-
toys were those little rubbery Dracula and Frankenstein.
Oh yeah,
and
I
Bride
thought
of
you were gonna say
Frankenstein.
the monster high
Creature the
dolls.
monster. Well, Creature the like, but then she wanted the Monster High dolls more than Barbies.
Oh yeah.
But it just was right up her alley. She always just kind of gravitated towards that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I loved it too. So
Right.
I was like, sure, you want these instead of Barbies? I'm on board. Yeah. I
Right.
loved it.
Right.
So
It was interesting. You know,
but she would
and I-
watch spooky stuff year round. Honestly, when she was a kid, right?
Absolutely.
So-
You and I, during Halloween, love to watch the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
Treehouse of Horror.
How
is
can I
excellent.
forget?
How can I forget? I just remembered they do the shitting.
Do the shitting. You want to get sued?
You want to
Yeah.
get sued? Oh my god.
The best thing on the entire planet are the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes. I
The old ones, the classics, so
love
good.
them so much, and I'm so happy they're on Disney Plus because yes, I will
And
watch them.
and
Love.
actually, Disney Plus is great for this because I believe during October they will separate it so you can watch
Yep.
all the
You
Treehouse
can
Horrors
just
back to
go
back,
watch
which
them.
is so good.
They're so great. They're
They are
so
great.
funny. Okay.
Okay, anyway, maybe this is a good transition into we have a Zodiac this week. We
Okay.
have a Zodiac this week.
Oh yeah. Okay. Hit me.
So our Zodiac, courtesy of Screen Rant.
Oh, okay.
Which iconic horror movie killer are you based on your Zodiac sign?
Ooh, okay. Okay.
All right. So up first we got Aries. You're Chucky from Child's Play.
Oh God.
Chucky is a bit hot-tempered. Well, more than a bit. Chucky was a notorious serial killer even before the events of the first movie. He had killed a number of people, and while on the run from the cops, used a ritual to attach his soul to the body of a good guy doll. Like a typical Aries, Chucky was incredibly determined to reach his goal, which is why there remains to be so many sequels of the killer doll.
It's true. There's so many sequels of that movie.
Yep.
Okay.
Taurus. You are Jason Voorhees of Friday the 13th,
Ooh, okay.
which the week that Grandpa passed away, he passed away on 9/11.
It's true.
Friday the 13th.
It's true. There was a Friday the 13th.
We didn't even have time to watch a
No,
Friday the 13th movie. We were so busy.
Time. You're right. You're right.
Anyway, but the second killer in the Friday the 13th franchise, because
true.
the first one, it's his mom.
It's his mom.
Jason Voorhees is a total mama's boy. He was devoted to his cause and always heard his mother's voice telling him to kill. Taurus individuals have a deep need to be loved, and after that was taken from Jason, he always makes his way back to get his revenge.
Oh no.
All right, Gemini, Jack Torrance of The Shining.
Oh, ooh. Okay.
Jack, like a Gemini, has two sides to him. His fatherly, good husband, ex-alcoholic side, and his raging, possessed psychopath side. Jack Torrance is both the main protagonist and antagonist of The Shining. He is corrupted by the spirits of the Overlook Hotel and the evil energy that permeates through it. At the beginning of the film, Jack seems totally normal. He has a history of being violent. He's gentle with Danny and definitely loves his family, but then there is a change. So I guess just because Geminis are like the twins,
The
have two
twins.
sides
That's
to
what
him.
it is. Yeah, because
So-
he would have been all right if he hadn't gotten possessed by those spirits in that house.
It's true. Cancer.
Okay.
Your Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ooh, I hate that villain. Ugh.
Ooh.
So gross.
Terrible.
Yes.
Leatherface, or Bubba, is a total family man.
Oh my
Isn't
god.
that Wayne?
Oh
Isn't that
my
Wayne?
god.
He loves his siblings and parents more than anything else in the world. Based slightly on real-world killer Ed Gein, which I don't know if you know who that is,
Okay.
but that's a story for another day.
That's true.
He is famed for making household items, masks, and aprons out of human skin in order to feel closer to being normal.
Ooh, gross.
Let's see. Like the cancer he is, Leatherface is surprisingly the most sympathetic of the Sawyer family. Before he is ordered to butcher the newcomers, Bubba always tries to be nice to them in a very twisted way.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, so family man.
That's
your-
hilarious.
Gets cancer.
That's actually hilarious.
Leo, you are Pennywise the dancing clown
Ooh.
from It.
Creepy.
Pennywise is the perfect Leo. Whether it is Tim Curry's iconic rendition or Bill Skarsgård's most recent take on the dancing clown, Pennywise is extremely boastful and proud of himself. Pennywise is also extremely creative like a Leo. He skillfully uses people's fears against them, and if the situation calls for it, tries to lure them into a sewer.
That's so freaking creepy, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
know. I hate it.
Ugh.
Ugh. No, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Virgo. You are Michael Myers of Halloween.
Okay.
Michael Myers, the notorious killer from the Halloween franchise, is most definitely a Virgo. Like his star sign, he's a little on the quiet side and rarely likes to show any of his emotions to others. He is extremely loyal to Laurie, as she pretty much remains his target throughout the almost 5 decades the films have been going on.
Right. And that guy won't die. Damn.
Contrary to what his violent rampages may imply, Michael is always analytical and methodical. He seems to always know exactly where his victims are going and arrive just when he needs to.
True.
He also waited 15 years to strike Haddonfield again.
Persistent. We'll give him that.
Libra. Hannibal Lecter, The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
While Hannibal Lecter is arguably just as bad as everyone else on this list, he is also a psychiatrist, which
Right.
probably makes him even worse.
He's so evil. Yeah.
He seems to be a sociopath who has a taste for humans and, with his profound intelligence, would manipulate new victims to fall into his trap. Hannibal Lecter, however, acts somewhat as an anti-hero throughout his novels and films. He's a killer and a cannibal, yes, but he also helps the good guys more often than not.
That's crazy. That's
Yep.
true. Yeah.
So I guess those are all things a Libra does.
Okay.
I don't know about the cannibalism, but
I would hope not. But,
you know,
who
the
knows?
rest of it.
Right.
All right, Scorpio. You are Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, God.
Freddy's one of those killers who totally does things based on his emotions. In the original A Nightmare on Elm Street and its 2010 remake, Freddy's favorite girl was Nancy. Freddy had an obsession with her and always wanted to save the best for last. Scorpios are known for being a little possessive and act on emotions rather than thought, just like Freddy. Scorpios also have a need to be aware of the situation they're in, which Freddy does by controlling the dream world he drags his victims to.
Ugh.
Dun dun.
Terrifying. All right. Up next.
Sagittarius.
Okay, that's me, ladies.
Ghostface from Scream.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Ghostface is unlike the other killers on this list. In a way, he is almost comical and is totally animated, which makes him the perfect Sagittarius.
It's true.
He likes games and only talks to people over the phone, but never in person. He is idealistic and dreams of becoming the best killer, a killer that gets away with the perfect plan. Ghostface has had many different people under the mask, but always kept the same tempo and personality. Like Sagittarius, Ghostface will do anything to achieve his goals.
It's true. Don't expect to talk to me in person, only on the podcast.
On the podcast or over the phone.
Over the phone.
Capricorn, Pinhead, from
Ooh,
Hellraiser.
Oh, okay, that's freaking terrifying.
I know.
I can't believe I watched that movie, and that scared me.
I can't believe you watched
the
that
crap
movie.
out of me.
Yep. Pinhead isn't really the ultimate villain in the first Hellraiser film, but due to his appearance, he has left a lasting effect on viewers everywhere. Pinhead is an excellent Capricorn. Capricorns are responsible, but also cold, distant, and unforgiving, which is the exact personality that Pinhead portrayed in the first film. Pinhead reaps from his mistakes and learns from them as the franchise continues. That's
Yeah,
me, ladies.
That's you.
Cold, distant, unforgiving,
Unforgiving.
and I learn from my mistakes.
Wow, this bitch. Man. Who knew? Start acting like you're supposed to, Abby. Damn.
I think I did.
You don't. You're not cold.
Distant and unforgiving.
You are not like that.
Well, I'm
Absolutely
unforgiving.
not. Well,
An
maybe
elephant
sometimes.
never
It
forgives.
depends.
And he never
And
forgets.
he never forgets. Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right,
But
Aquarius.
we're not done. Keep going.
Aquarius. Yep. We always think that Capricorn is
Yep,
the end,
that's
but
it.
it's
End
not.
of the year, right?
There's two more.
I feel so bad. Sorry.
Aquarius. You're Jigsaw from Saw.
Ooh.
Jigsaw is incredibly original, not only in thought, process, and method, but each torture trap is uniquely devised for the victim and their sins.
Oh, I hate that.
I know. He's so unique it becomes easy to tell when there's a copycat killer in the later films. This trait makes him the perfect Aquarius. Aquarius thrives on individuality and being unique. They're problem solvers, which is technically what Jigsaw's entire goal is. He aims to make people realize how important life and their blessings are, which is
But he
technically the
goes,
plot, but it's
he
fucking
goes about
terrible.
it in a completely
Horrible.
twisted, gross,
Horrible.
messed up way. Yeah.
Yep. All right, last one. Pisces, you are Samara from The Ring. You're the little girl that climb out of the TV.
Okay.
Samara is the spirit in the Ring films and is definitely a Pisces. She waits 7 days to kill her victims, giving them enough time to share the video and curse their friends. Samara wants her victims to feel the way she did, and because she is so in touch with her emotions, she felt them on a pretty deep level. Pisces is also a water sign, which fits Samara wonderfully because she was in the well, so she's on the water. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So that's your horror movie.
Well, okay. Well, I have to tell you that it is October, and I will tell you that when I was young, my brothers and I made it a mission to scare each other
Okay.
at every opportunity. We would hide in each other's closets and do crazy stuff to try to scare each other. We were never allowed to scare our mother. She made that very clear. We were gonna get an ass whooping if we scared her.
You actually made it very clear. We had a rule. You made a rule to Dad that never, when you're in the shower, can anyone
No one
scare
can
you.
scare me in the shower. That is
Absolutely
off limits.
not.
You don't do that to somebody. That's not cool. If you've ever seen the movie Psycho, don't do it. It's not cool. So we would hide all over the place and try to scare each other. And my friend my BFF Jan and my other friend, my other BFF Angie, we all lived in the same neighborhood. And so we would run down to Jan's and we'd hang out. And then of course we want to come home and it's dark. So Angie's mom sends her brother Joe down to walk us home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because Angie and I lived on the same block and Jan lived 2 blocks down. And so we know that he's coming to pick us up, to walk us home, right?
Oh, no.
And we hide behind this big bush down by Jan's house. And he's on his bike and he's pedaling down. And we jump out and we scare the living daylights out of him. You know, like you're on your bike and he's like, what? And he like swerves away from us.
I'm sure crashes.
Boom, crashes and wipes out. And of course, we're all standing there. We're all just dying laughing that we scared him so bad. And he's just like, that's not funny. Funny. And he rides his bike and walks us home, So we go home. And this is my he was my brother's age, my brother Dan. They were best friends. And years later, he passed away. And we go to the visitation. And I write in the book, but I'm crying and I can't really see very well. And I'm writing, the book you're supposed to write like a memory. And so I tried to write my best scare ever. Okay, and then I write the story. Well, later, after the funeral and everything, they're reading this book and they're reading the memories of their family. And they thought it said my best score ever. My friend Angie, can you imagine the entire family reads this and they're like,
Jesus Christ, Hannah, man.
literally, they're like, what the hell? We didn't even know they ever dated. Like, it was so funny. Thank God Angie knew the story and defended my honor. But she calls me later and she tells me that they read it wrong and they were all just like stunned. It was like absolute shock.
Can you imagine going through this book? Can you imagine going to a funeral and writing that
Writing that down.
best score
Best
ever?
score ever.
You will be missed.
You will be missed. I will miss your huge schlong.
I can't. Oh my god.
So of course she has to tell him, no, that's not.
The title that says, I will miss your huge.
I will miss your huge schlong. Best score ever. That's the title. And she calls me and tells me, and she said it would. Of course, then they all just laughed so hard, and that's kind of one of the things when you're so terribly sad and something happens that makes you all laugh is just it's kind of such a relief, you know, to break that up a little bit. And so how hilarious is that? Can you just even imagine? I was like,
so
no,
funny.
no.
I know another scare story about you told me, but I'll get to there in a second. But I don't know if you recall me telling you this story, but I think I was in 8th grade, or maybe I was a freshman in high school. It was pretty young.
Okay.
I may have even been a sophomore. But I was on crutches, which is why it's difficult to pin down, because I was on crutches a lot.
Many times, yes.
And we went
if
up
you're
to...
on crutches, you would have been in high school.
True. Mm-hmm. But we went up to the trunk or treat.
We did. Because Liv was still or Sam maybe was still in 8th grade or something.
Yeah,
Who knows, Liv?
Liv also would have been.
Yeah, we did the trunk or treat thing. Yeah.
So we go to the trunk or treat, and they had turned the playground area into like a little haunted maze.
Yep.
Okay, now it's a Catholic school haunted maze.
Right.
It's not that scary.
It's not supposed to be that scary.
So I'm up there with the other, the friends from like the CYO and all that kind of stuff, and we're going to go through this haunted maze.
Right.
Now, here's the issue, is that entire playground was filled with small pebbly rocks. There's no, it's old.
It's not paved like the parking lot.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm on crutches.
Right, going through.
So I'm, crutching myself along. Of course,
crutching myself along.
And I'm with a group about 5 or 6 people.
Okay.
And they're jumping out. They're going, Finally,
the 8th graders were jumping out and scaring. Yes. No.
This is the first year they did it, and it was parents.
Oh, it was parents.
Yes. No, it wasn't actually that scary. There was no blood or nothing.
Sure. But they just jump out. Those get the jump scare. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So we get about maybe a third of the way through this thing, and it's not very long. We only get about a third of the way through. Somebody jumps out the stairs, and everybody takes off running.
Here's Abby on the crutches. There's no running. They've left.
So I know the sigh. Damn it. So I'm slowly making my way through, and I guess I was very pathetic looking, because again, rocks. I'm scattered all over the place, and this guy, one of the guys, he literally is he flips up the Jason Voorhees mask, and he's like, "Do you need some help?" And I was like, "No, it's fine." They get to the end. Okay. My friends do, and they realize, "Oh shit,
we've left Abby
We've completely left Abby behind. Here I come." By this point, I've caught up. You son of a bitch. I was so fucking angry. I was like, okay, thanks guys.
Yeah.
That was literally Mr. Whoever who fucking you see at church every Sunday.
Right.
But you leave me in the dust.
Oh man.
So it was a little funny though, right?
Now you can laugh about it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
but
hilarious.
yeah, can you imagine? They all take off, and I'm just like,
I'm just glad you didn't fall.
I know.
Yeah.
Very accomplished.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
Well, now the scare score. Are you thinking of the time I scared my brother Johnny?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yep. So my youngest brother ended up being the tallest and biggest out of all of us, which is funny. And like I said, we made it our mission in life to scare each other. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I might even been in college by this time, but I know I was in high school, and I was older.
Yeah.
And I'm hiding in the basement, on the top step of the basement stairs.
Yeah.
And he comes past the stairs, and I jump out and I scare him. And he punches me, and I fall down the stairs.
Yep, backwards.
Yep, and I'm laying on the land. Thankfully, I did not break my neck, right, or anything. I didn't even break a bone or anything. And I'm laying at the bottom of the steps, and of course I yell, "Mom!" And she's like, "If you play with the boys, you're gonna get hurt." That was her response. And he's standing at the top of steps, going, "Sorry, reflex action."
The fight or flight.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I scared the crap out of him, and his reaction was to punch. And then down I went. And I went, that is the last time I will be scaring the boys. Because they're all bigger. Yeah, boom. Down I went. They're all bigger than me now. At this point, I knew that my time of scaring was over. I couldn't do it anymore.
To an end.
That was my last and not my best scare. Not my best score.
My best scare or score. Well, I will say a little more on spooky beef.
Okay.
So obviously, Spooky Beef is beginning with this episode because we're into
Yes.
October.
Yes.
But Spooky Beef will be continuing throughout the month of October.
Yeah.
We've got a few things planned.
We do.
We're hoping, Ashley's got some ghost stories.
Yeah.
We've been waiting
Ash's
to tell.
got some good ghost stories.
And not just with wallets being stolen.
This wallet's being stolen and the
The
spirit of the couch.
The wallet wasn't stolen. The cards were stolen from the wallet.
Cards. It's true. Did you tell the ghost story about the sound you heard in the bathroom? Have you told that one yet?
I don't know if we have.
I can't remember.
Listener, did we tell a story about the bathroom sound?
Someone tell us, and we'll tell it next episode if we haven't. There you go.
Yeah.
Now, my youngest brother Johnny, he passed away in October. It's gonna be 8 years. So it's so hard for me. October is I love it. It's my favorite. But then I also have that, that's tough every year to remember that. But it's great. We get together, we go to the brew fest, we remember Johnny, we do a toast, we talk about him, we don't forget him, and that helps a lot.
He had Ma would put your first letter of your first name on your
there's
tags
7,
your t-shirt.
I have 6 siblings, so as growing up, it was like, how do you tell everybody's clothes apart, especially the boys?
Right.
I don't know.
Mostly the boys.
Mostly the boys. There were 5 boys and 2 girls, so and my sister was older than me then, and we definitely had very different styles. So it wasn't so hard for her to tell apart our stuff, but she would put everybody's initials on tags. Well, we already had a J because my brother Joe. So she asked him,
What letter?
What letter do you want? He was probably 3 or 4. I mean, pretty young. What letter do you want for your initials? Because I can't use J, she tells him. So, his answer was, I want to use X.
And she was like, why?
Why? Why use X? Because X stands for danger. Isn't that great?
So
because they used to take walks and they would walk past it was like a little electrical thing. It was fenced in, and there was a thing that was like a big red X, and it was like, don't enter, don't come in.
Yeah.
And he saw that, and he remembered X stands for danger. So his initials were always X, which is hilarious.
Right. So we all got T-shirts that had X stands for danger.
Yes, we did. For his first anniversary. After he passed away, we did get the T-shirt. We all still have them. The big.
Well, you guys wore them down to because I made them and it made the X looks like the little cancer ribbon.
And this is hilarious. We have to explain this. It's made out of bananas.
Yeah.
Right? Because we do this silly rob your neighbor thing with like dollar items for Christmas, and he gets this banana keeper. Mm-hmm. It's a little plastic banana, and you open them, you can put your banana in there, take it to work with you or whatever.
The Van Horn during December, we'll have to talk about the Van Horn Christmas exchange.
We'll talk about that. And so we do this silly thing, and so he gets this banana keeper, and he's like, "This is amazing. This is like the best thing I ever got in my life." He loved it. So he starts a Facebook page called Ben Anna.
He just changed his name.
Yeah. So his Facebook page is Ben Anna, which we try to post on it to keep it active actually still now. But he would post all these silly things where he took the banana case.
Yeah.
He took it to a wedding and took a picture with like the bride and groom holding the banana case. I mean, it's just hilarious. But he was just a very goofy guy.
And he would send pictures. He would take pictures of stuff and send it, and the banana would be like hidden somewhere in the background.
Where's the banana? I mean, just crazy. But so we had to get the bananas on there, and
So bananas have become a kind of a recurring thing. You're literally wearing a Savannah Bananas T-shirt right now.
Because
Dad went down to Savannah, Georgia.
Dad went to Savannah,
as we discussed during the week of hell.
Yes, brought me back this Savannah Bananas T-shirt, and I love it. It's so great. Mm-hmm. But so bananas are kind of a thing with us. But plus, as a kid growing up, what was my nickname? My friends called me. My brothers didn't call me this, but my friends. Anna Banana. I did have a friend in high school called me Vanna Anhorn. That's true.
What was my name growing up? Vanna
Anhorn. Damn it. Anna Banana. What's wrong with you? But anyway, when you lose a family member, it's if you've had this experience, it's just like a piece of the puzzle is missing, right?
Yeah.
It's really tough, and it's hard. It's really, really hard to deal with it.
Well, especially how young John
was only 42, which is horrendous, and the whole thing was just a really, really, really tough situation. And I can remember seeing that stupid show with that Teresa Caputo, I think that's her name, and she's like a medium. She's from Jersey. She's got this giant hair, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was on whatever channel, I don't even remember. And I can remember watching this episode once, right after he had passed away, and thinking, I wish so much that was real. So that, because you see people who do find some peace from knowing feeling like
Yeah.
they've had contact with their loved one and they know they're okay and they
Yeah.
know they're safe. Or, because that literally was the prayer after he passed away. It's like, please let him be okay. Please let him be somewhere safe and happy
'Cause he
and
really
no more
didn't
pain.
have-
Yeah, and that's
He didn't really have, like, you know how we talk about Grandpa had this unshakable
Yeah.
Catholic faith.
right.
And John didn't, he just kind of believed, like, this is kind of it.
Yeah, he did.
And whatnot. And to each their own. Whatever, maybe
Right.
maybe
Because-
that brings you peace.
Because
that-
honestly, no one knows.
You know,
no one knows.
nobody
We don't know what's going to
knows.
happen.
you know.
But I honestly wish so bad. I was like, man, I wish I could find out for sure and know that he's okay. And, and you know, but of course, I don't really believe that that's real. So it's such a conundrum, right? But I will tell you, I had surgery just in August, right?
Yeah.
And I was sleeping in the recliner because it was, for one, it was hard for me to climb the stairs, and laying down in the bed is tough, and then getting out of the bed is even harder. So I just slept, in the recliner.
For all of us, I think.
It's true. Getting out of bed is very hard for all of us. And it was August, so it was pretty hot, and I had this fan pointed at me, blowing on me.
Oh,
I was
okay.
sleeping there in this recliner. And I can remember feeling very hot. And I'm like, gosh, I'm so hot. And why don't I feel the fan anymore? Something was blocking the airflow. I'm like, what is blocking? Why don't I have the fan on me? This is ridiculous. I know I went to bed with the fan on me. What is blocking the fan? Because it felt like something was in front of it. Blocking it. And I can remember, and I'm guessing this is a dream. It's got to be a dream. But I can remember opening my eyes and looking to see what was blocking the fan, and it was my brother Johnny. And I just was, and then I felt like I woke up, and it was like, what?
Yeah.
What was that?
Right.
No idea.
Who knows? Maybe it was a dream. Maybe it was.
Maybe it was drug induced. Who knows? It was on some
don't
heavy
know.
heavy meds.
Maybe.
Those first couple of days. No idea.
No
But
idea.
That
Spooky.
was. I've never
It's
had
a
an
bit of a-
experience
yeah.
where I felt like I saw a ghost, or like I've never ever had that. But after he passed away, I wish there was a way, because you feel like there's a sign everywhere you go, right? You want to grab at these signs, and you hope that that's that person telling you they're okay, or that they're watching over you, or whatever, just because you want everything to be okay for them. You do.
Yeah. Well,
But that was my first encounter that I saw
kind
him
of creepy.
standing there.
Yeah.
And he was blocking the fan. I was like, get out of the way. No.
Yeah.
You're making me mad. Yeah. He punches me.
Well, I fell down the stairs, and that was a sign.
There was a sign.
I fell down the stairs. It was a sign. Well, sort of Halloween related, and sort of like, how we were saying, like, kind of spirituality and things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, actually, no, I'm gonna get to this in a second, but quick story. Grandpa has passed away,
Yep.
and Ashley says
Oh, yeah,
that
this is a
Wednesday,
great story.
that Wednesday that he passed away, almost all of us were actually
We were
at
at
the house.
except for Ash and your dad. Yeah.
But I called Ashley to let her know that he'd passed away.
Right.
It was like maybe like 5:30ish.
Right.
And she was like, okay, and she was maybe gonna come out later, kind of
Yeah.
thing. We were waiting on hospice. All this
Basically,
kind
let
of
me
stuff.
know what you need, or
Right.
Yeah, right.
So to kind of kill some time, because she needs something to do, because
Right.
everybody's sad.
You gotta stay busy.
She goes outside to go work in her garden. She's gonna pull some weeds, all that kind of stuff. And here comes this cardinal bird, lands in this post, and stayed there the whole time she was working in the garden. Which is just, they say when a cardinal is near,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like your loved ones. And
It's-
Grandpa specifically,
It's your
of course,
angel. Yeah.
loves the cardinals.
Loves the cardinals. Loves the
cardinal
birds. You
Yep.
name it.
And so
Yeah.
it was just sort of this, like, believe what you will.
Absolutely.
But, of course, we took it as a
Oh
little
man,
bit of a sign.
you
of-
grab onto that with both hands.
right.
And,
Hey, we were all there to kind of comfort each other. So he went, sat outside in the garden with Ash.
Oh my God!
I
And
know.
He loved to be outside.
Oh,
so
God,
for
yeah.
sure, for
Yep.
sure. Oh yeah,
Okay.
because Grandma then asked Ashley, "Is your little cardinal friend come
I
back?"
know. I was like,
know. It's
Grandma don't ask me that.
You know what? We forgot to say this when we went to the cemetery for the little service there. We forgot this. There are so many geese out there, and there's a couple swans in the lake. We're like, oh my God, Grandpa's gonna love this. Look at all
Yeah,
these birds.
all these birds.
And we're in the middle
Swans
of this.
are fake. Do you know that?
No,
They're
they're fake swans in the
They're
lake.
They're to encourage the birds to come. They're just kind of like anchored there. They kind of rotate exactly where they are, but yeah, they're just fake.
I'm literally my jaw open. The deception I feel, the betrayal in my heart. What? They're
Yeah,
fake.
They're fake.
I'm dead. Okay.
Sorry.
Middle of the service, Father Paul is saying his little thing, and all of a sudden the geese just start honking.
Yep.
Right? And then one just flies right over. The casket's right there. Here comes this goose. And we're like, oh my God, the 21 goose salute.
The 21 honk salute. Yep.
Here comes the bird. I said, he would love this.
He would love this.
He would
He
love
eaten it up.
Fantastic.
So that was
Yep.
really sweet.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
awesome.
But on the story of spirituality, we were kind of
Okay,
talking
yeah,
about.
okay, back to that.
Okay. Ashley asked me the other day if she's like, would you be upset if I did like some kind of witchy kind of stuff? Now she's like, I don't know.
Witchy or Wiccan?
Well, she said witchy is the word she
Okay,
used.
okay.
And she was like, there's like just little things like I guess you can leave a little jar of water outside during a harvest moon. That water is supposed to be like lucky or something like that. She's like, it can't hurt. And I'm like,
I would hope not.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't really care. Because she was like, basically, she was just like,
It's not like she's like sacrificing,
No.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah, she's not doing anything crazy. Yeah.
right.
It's not devil worship. It's the Wiccan stuff is actually really positive. Yeah.
Right. It's kind of interesting.
A lot of people look at it as very negative, but it's not. It's
No.
not.
Yeah. Well, and she basically was more of like, she wanted to ask because she knows that we're raised very Catholic,
Right.
and especially with that being at my grandpa's services and whatnot. Of course, I know all the
yeah.
stuff,
Oh, yeah.
and
Well,
and
the rosary, we say the rosary at the thing, and it's like riding a bike. You just jump right in.
I
and
just
you know all the
of it.
prayers. And Ashley's like, I don't know any of these
Any of
prayers,
these.
so I'm just looking down at my sparkly shoes.
Yep, and whatnot, and so, but she just want to make sure. She's like, I don't want it to like offend you,
Sure.
and I was
Well,
like,
that's sweet that she asked you.
right, and I was like,
Yeah.
and she of course is like, I'm not throwing myself into this. I'm not,
Sure,
like,
sure.
but
you can always use some good vibes,
and I don't really
right?
care what people believe.
It's-
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
I think realistically, if
If your
being
beliefs
honest,
don't hurt someone,
Yeah.
then go for it.
Yeah, I said if it brings people peace,
Yep.
and whatnot, and I was like,
Makes
and
you
there is
happy. Yeah.
there is some science behind some of it because they're like, if somebody says like, okay, well, hey, if you drink this tea, it'll maybe cure whatever, or it'll help with these symptoms and such. 100%, because we get medicine from plants.
That's
And
exactly where they come
there are medicinal properties in the
Plants.
natural world around us.
That's
So,
absolutely right.
absolutely. If you want to believe it's because of spirit and good vibes going out into the world, if you want to believe it is because this whatever chemical releases serotonin in your brain, I don't really care.
Right.
We're saying the same
A
thing.
lot of times, if you believe it with all of your heart and soul,
A
then
placebo will
the belief of it is actually
amazing.
helpful for you.
sometimes. Yeah.
I actually read a thing that said people who have a religion of some sort, whatever it is, if you have a strong faith, you have a strong religion, whatever it is, you actually lead a happier life.
That's what a lot of studies say.
You feel happier because you have that faith. And it's true because when you're kind of lost in your faith, you feel like you don't know what to believe and you don't know how to accept, whatever things happen in your life. It does. It's harder. It's kind of harder to deal with stuff.
Sometimes it can.
It's kind of amazing. My mom's generation, which is your grandpa and your grandma, like the absolute faith. I remember when my brother passed away. My mom's saying, "Well, he's in heaven.
She's got unshakable
100%
in heaven,
doing great. He's fine. She's like, I'm sad that he is not here, but I have absolutely no worries whatsoever. She was completely confident that he was fine.
Right,
He
and
was
it
in
was
a great
still
place. He was
sad.
at peace and he was happy. And
Right.
I'm like,
and it was still
I wish
sad,
I
but
had that.
she could find some peace in that.
Yeah, and she was 100%
And
at
good.
peace with it.
And good.
Because, watching someone that you love suffer is very,
Especially-
very hard.
Well, especially your child,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, to say, I know he's okay. I know he's fine. And she's like, of course I'm devastated to lose him, but I know that he is
Yeah.
not suffering anymore and he is at peace. And I'm like, okay, I wish I had that faith.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, back on the witchy stuff,
Okay, go for it.
because I agree with you.
Yeah.
Ashley was talking about how there are different kinds of witches, right? Okay, there's like the homestead witch and the all these kind of things. And she's like, I'm a homestead witch.
She is. She is.
She's like, I
Yeah.
like to cook and I
She
like to
is.
do these kind of things.
She
And
likes
that's
to garden
the stuff she.
and take care of it. Yeah, she
Now-
makes great food. Yeah.
I'm not really much of a believer in witchy stuff, but I am a lover of quizzes. And so I had to find out what kind of witch I am.
Yes.
Now I know what kind of witch I am.
Me too. I'm with you. That's fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know it. And so I pulled up the quiz
Oh,
so
okay,
that
okay.
you could take the
Oh,
quiz.
let's do it. Let's
Okay,
do it.
so I'm just going to cut straight to it. So
That's fine.
here we go. Oh, okay, we are the same. We got the same,
Well,
which doesn't surprise
doesn't
me
surprise
at
me.
all.
Yes.
Okay, we are eclectic witches.
Oh, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Now here's the thing. I'm taking this whole thing and I'm like answering questions like whatever.
Okay, right,
Like,
right.
You know,
Yes.
because I don't really believe
It's for fun,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you do rituals? I was like, I prefer to fly solo. I don't know.
Right, right,
No.
right.
Okay, but
When
I'll
you read
this.
it, okay, here we go.
All right, you're an eclectic witch. You take what works for you and leave all the rest. A bit of a spiritual chameleon, you pull from different faiths and spiritual paths to create your own belief system. Though you're open-minded, you're steadfast in the beliefs you've adopted. You are the embodiment of fluidity, versatile, receptive, connective.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty damn on the nose.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, which is 100% true because I was raised very Catholic, but
Sure.
and part of me is like, oh yeah, I'd like to think that there's a heaven and whatnot, but I
Yeah.
also am very sound in my scientific.
That's just it. It's hard
Beliefs.
for me to just accept, like, you need to just believe this. I'm totally,
don't.
I'm totally the Doubting Thomas, and I want to put my hands in the wounds, because it does. None of it makes sense, and I can't analytically say that this makes sense to me because it doesn't.
And
but that's also maybe faith. It doesn't make sense.
But then there's also like a sort of believe in karma a little bit.
Yeah.
That like good things will come back to you, bad things will come back to you. You're gonna get yours. We
Right.
just saw this. I won't say, but Ashley is a person that she knows that's kind of a dick, and karma just came back and bit him in the ass, big time, big time.
And so, yeah, be a good person.
Good.
Right. You
Yeah.
don't want that to bite you in the ass.
Right. And I think I've said that like I sort of believe in the idea of like reincarnation kind of makes sense because the idea that we can't create or destroy energy.
Yeah,
And so
you
that
said that
kind
to
of
me. I'm
stuff
like,
goes somewhere.
wow.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
wild.
Just the
I never
idea
thought
of
about it that way. So
Right.
that's kind of wild.
Right.
But you're right. Being raised Catholic, raising my kids Catholic, believed it, followed it,
And
taught
I
it,
don't
taught
think
it for
that
many
I
years. But then
disbelieve it.
no, it's not that I don't, that I wouldn't say that I don't believe what I've been taught, but
Right.
I'm kind of boycotting a little bit just because if you're truly a Christian and you follow what Jesus taught, then you love your neighbor, and that means everyone. Period.
You love your neighbor as yourself, and that is
That's it. It doesn't mean a select few of your neighbors. That means everyone.
Right.
And so when they change the wording to
Like
basically saying the blood is poured out for all,
Right. They
to
changed
pour it
it.
out for many,
No.
that's
No.
wrong.
He poured it out for all.
Why would you change those words? That is so
I know why.
wrong. Well, I know why.
Right.
We have to exclude certain people. So that means certain people are not welcome in this church. And that's wrong.
I believe that faith is a good thing and organized religion has its issues.
Organized religions 100% has, and it's not just the Catholics. I'm poking
Oh no.
pointing my finger at.
It's easy
It's-
for me to point at Catholicism and
Right.
Catholics and
Because I know it the best. Right.
Because I know it the best. I am sure that Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism,
Yeah.
all of the isms
If you're-
have Catholicism has all of
Have
their
issues.
issues.
Yeah,
on their-
absolutely. And to me,
1000%.
it just feels so much like the organized religion. Their goal is money and control, money and
Very
power.
much. You see these.
And
That's
so
why
on.
the super churches come in.
Exactly.
100%.
Whether,
So I
whether you're
believe-
Christian, whether you're, like you said, something Jewish, whether you're Islam, whether you're Buddhist, yes, it's not just
No.
we're not just pointing our fingers at the
Anytime
Catholics.
a religion gets to a certain size, you are going to have an issue with power.
Right.
1000%.
And this is just throughout time. I'm not talking
No.
recently now. We're talking
No.
forever. This has been
we
an
already
issue
talked
forever.
about King Henry VIII and how they created
Right.
C of E because he needed a divorce.
He needed it. So
And
when
so
you got people in power and control of the church and everything is
Yes.
some of those cynical these days in my life, when they changed that wording, that was
that
like
pissed
the
me
last straw for me. And I'm like, you can't do that. You can't manipulate the words that Jesus said and make it be your way. Like,
which is
that's
why
wrong.
I've kind of adopted the idea that religion and faith are not inherently bad, but organized religion
and there's
tends to have its
wonderful
issues.
people who are Christians and Catholics
Well,
and
we
would
just
not
talked about
exclude people.
Grandpa, devout Catholic.
Yeah.
One of the best people I've ever
You'll
met
know
in my
in your
life.
lifetime, absolutely.
One of the most generous people.
Yeah.
One of the most, and
And was absolutely accepting of you.
absolutely. My
Marrying
grandparents
Ash
who
and
went to
never-
church like every single day.
Yeah, never thought to exclude
Never-
you
no,
or Ash from
not
anything.
once.
Yeah.
And
So we're not saying that the people who are Catholic are bad. I'm not saying that.
Oh, no, of course not.
I just, when they put those words back to the way they're supposed to be, then
You
my
will-
butt will be in the pew on Sunday. But until then,
You will
that's
have
wrong.
extremists of all faiths.
For sure. For sure.
And that's the issue, that I see with we look at Islam, right? You have extremists. Extremists.
Yeah.
You have extremists, and that especially in I'm going to say like Western, like the United States,
Mm-hmm.
where Islam wasn't a big religion, where mostly a Christian religion, although the United States has no official faith, so
Absolutely. And
if
should
I
not.
hear-
Yeah.
and it should not, but uneducated about these religions, and so you see the extremists and you assume that is what it is, and it's not at all, by any means.
Yeah, no, that's not really what their teachings are.
In the same,
don't believe in what you see in the
well,
media,
exactly.
or the news, or whatever.
In the same way, let's go back to, say, the Middle East and northern parts of Africa, and the Crusades are going on. These are extremist Christians, who are willing to kill everyone who disagrees
because
with
they're not Christian. Yeah, which is
right. I literally said to Ash when she said, you know, would you be upset about like if I did like some little witchy stuff? Because mostly it was just about I want to grow my own herbs and make my own teas and things like that. I'm like, I don't care. Like, go for it. Yeah. Right. And she was
Satan
like,
rituals were good.
Exactly. And she had said, I just want to make sure that it wasn't gonna come across as offensive
sure.
to you. And I said, no. I said, well, I mean, the Catholic Church has issues with those types of things, specifically because of their historical butting of heads with paganism. And I said, that's a whole other story. So I'm like, and that's really what it is.
Right.
Is that where
Ashley gets the whole history lesson that she didn't
want.
want.
Right for paganism? Why do we have Halloween? Why do we have All Saints Day?
I can't wait to see her and call her a pagan.
I know. Why is Christmas on the 25th? Paganism. Paganism.
Yep.
I don't really go to church, but I believe whatever I believe. And so that's why I thought that the eclectic witch, the idea of like you're open-minded and you're steadfast in the beliefs that you have, but you kind of just pull from different faiths and spiritual plans. I was like,
it's true.
That's a little right on the nosy there.
Like, I still pray every day. I still start my day being thankful for what I have and pray for good things. And
I'll post this link so people can find what kind of witch they are.
There you go, dude. That's a great
Post
idea.
in the comments.
But yeah, I'm not going to follow blindly anything anymore.
I'll never follow anything blindly.
Yeah, no. I'm always going to question,
and
because I want it to be 100% what Jesus taught. That's just what I believe.
And you know why? It's just because they say like, oh, you're supposed to be able to follow your priest, your pastor, whoever, because like they're being led by God. I'm like, nope. That is a human being. I will never follow a human being blindly because human beings have flaws and faults and they are not perfect like the rest of us.
Because that's how you get a cult.
That's how you get a cult. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid.
I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. Not today.
So, all right.
I think we're out of time.
We are out of time.
We kind of rambled on there a little bit. Sorry,
that's my soapbox about religion. Something nice, light Halloween episode. Right. Welcome to the religion talk.
Right. And you know what? If you are part of an organized religion, no hate towards you. Absolutely. Don't believe that. Don't think that we hate organized religion. We're not saying that.
No means.
We're not saying that.
There are good people of all faiths, and there are bad people of all faiths.
Absolutely. We love y'all. Thanks for listening. But after this, I'm going to need some serious beef.
Maybe some serious, what do you call it? The hosts? little Jesus wafers.
Jesus wafers.
Jesus. What do we call them? Like Jesus.
Now we're going to get in trouble for sure. Bye.
Bye.